I lived alone in a crumbling old apartment, a place I could just afford on my meager paycheck. It wasn't much. Peeling wallpaper, creaky floors, and a faint musty smell that clung to everything, but it was mine. A fragile slice of independence in a world that felt too big sometimes. The building groaned with age, its bones settling into the earth, and I'd grown used to its quirks. The way the pipes rattled, the drafts that slipped through cracked windows. That night, though, it wasn't the usual complaints that woke me. It was something far worse. I'd gotten off work early, a rare gift, after a grueling shift slinging coffee at the diner down the street. 2 hours ahead of schedule, I shuffled through the front door, my body heavy with exhaustion. The apartment was dim, lit only by the soft flicker of a lamp I'd left on, its glow pooling over the sagging couch. I heated up leftovers, some pasta that tasted more like cardboard than comfort, and collapsed into the cushions, flipping on the TV. The low hum of a sitcom buzzed in the background, a mindless distraction as I ate. My eyelids drooped, the day's weight pulling me under. An hour later, I gave up, switching off the screen and dragging myself to bed. The sheets were cool against my skin, and sleep took me fast, a merciful escape into darkness. It couldn't have been long, maybe 2, 3 hours, when a sound yanked me awake. A creak, sharp and insistent, cut through the haze of sleep. I lay still, eyes wide in the pitch-black room, my breath shallow. The building always creaked, especially when the wind kicked up, its old frame swaying like a tired dancer. But tonight, the air outside was calm, no gusts rattling the windows. This sound was different, rhythmic, deliberate. Creak, pause, creak, pause. It rolled through the walls, steady as a heartbeat, coming from somewhere beyond my bedroom door. My chest tightened, a flicker of dread sparking to life. It's just the building, I told myself, clinging to logic. Old places make noises, but the creaking didn't stop. It grew louder, closer, like footsteps pacing the unseen corners of my home. I slid out of bed, the floorboards icy under my bare feet, and edged toward the door. My hand trembled as I cracked it open, peering into the hallway. It stretched out before me, a narrow tunnel leading to the front door, with the kitchen on the left and the living room on the right. The creaking sharpened, echoing from the kitchen now, and my heart pounded so hard I could feel it in my throat. I stepped forward, each movement slow, deliberate, as if the air itself might shatter. Then I saw him, a shadow at the end of the hall, tall and looming, crossing from the kitchen toward the living room. My body locked up, every muscle seizing with primal fear. He didn't see me. His head stayed forward, his steps unhurried, like he belonged here more than I did. I ducked back into my room, leaving the door ajar. I couldn't risk the click of it closing. My breath came in ragged gasps, barely audible over the thudding in my ears. The creaking continued, methodical, as he moved through the kitchen again. I heard the faint clatter of cabinets opening, then shutting, the sound so casual it twisted my stomach. Who was he? How had he gotten in? My mind raced, clawing for answers. The balcony. God, the sliding door out there never locked properly, its latch rusted and useless. Had he climbed up the side of the building, slipped in like a ghost? I pressed myself against the wall, my hands clammy, listening as his steps shifted to the living room. A soft squeak followed, the couch settling under his weight. He was sitting there, in my space, on my couch, like this was his home. Terror clawed at me, raw and overwhelming. I fumbled for my phone on the nightstand, my fingers slick with sweat as I typed a frantic text to 911. Intruder in my apartment. Help me. Calling wasn't an option. My voice would betray me, draw him closer. The next few minutes stretched into a nightmare, each second dripping with dread. I pictured him out there, sprawled on the couch, waiting. For what? For me? The thought sank into me like ice, freezing my blood. His shadow had passed the hallway twice, each time ignoring the path to my room, but that could change. Any moment he could stand, turn, and find me. A buzz jolted me. My phone. Officers are in the building. Stay put. Relief flickered, fragile and fleeting. I couldn't wait anymore. Gathering every shred of courage, I crept to the door again, peering down the hall. The living room was out of sight, but I heard nothing. No creaks, no movement, just the oppressive silence of his presence. My legs shook as I bolted, sprinting past the kitchen, past the living room's edge, and threw open the front door. 2 officers stood there, flashlights blazing, and I nearly collapsed into them. "He's inside," I choked out, pointing. They surged past me, shouting commands. "Hands up! Down on the floor!" And I heard the scuffle, the thud of a body hitting the ground. I stayed in the hall trembling as they dragged him out in cuffs. He was a stranger, thin, unshaven, his eyes dull and unreadable. He'd climbed the balcony, they said, forced the sliding door with ease. He claimed he was just there to rob me, but he hadn't taken a thing. No bag, no tools, just him in the night. And why sit on my couch, calm as death, if theft was all he wanted? The cops hauled him away, their lights fading down the stairwell, but the questions lingered, gnawing at me. I'd come home early that night. Did he know my routine? Had he been watching, waiting for the moment I'd walk through that door? Was he sitting there, expecting an empty apartment, only to freeze when he realized I was already inside? I locked the balcony door that night, wedged a chair under it for good measure, but sleep never came. The apartment felt violated, its shadows deeper, its creaks louder. Every noise now carried his echo, the slow tread of his boots, the squeak of the couch as he settled in. I moved out a month later, but the uncertainty stayed with me, a ghost of his own. Was he a random drifter, or something more sinister? Would he try again, somewhere else, for someone else? I'll never know, and that not knowing is the weight I carry still. A quiet, creeping fear that lives in the dark corners of every room I call home.